This is it. This is exactly what I just be talking about. So, context. Last week, Clash Royale dropped an emergency balance change on the Evo Goblin Giant and straight up admitted it. In the last set of balance changes, they tried to slow down the Evo Goblin Giant by nerfing the curse and minion, but that didn't do the trick. This time, they went straight to the source, making changes to the Evo Goblin Giant spawn speed from 1.8 seconds to 2.2 seconds. This is one of the biggest things I can never get over when it comes to balance changes. Something is overperforming, and instead of nerfing the actual problem X, they will nerf something else Y, hoping that it will bring down X. Imagine a house is burning down. The usual way to take it out would be to throw water on it, but instead, imagine them letting that house burn down just to give the owners a new house. Like, sure, maybe the new house solves the problem of shelter, like they will still have a place to live, but the fire was the real issue. Letting a small fire grow into a big one and then replacing the house is just roundabout. This is exactly what they did with the Goblin Giant. They nerfed Goblin Curse and minions because they were indexed with Goblin Giant instead of nerfing the Goblin Giant directly. Even this nerf isn't really it. The Evolution Goblin Giant at half health spawns stab goblins. This isn't the first time they nerfed this. Like, the spawn speed has been touched before. Like, I believe it used to be like 1 second or like 1.6 seconds on release. I remember how ignoring one Evo Goblin Giant will result in you getting free crown. The core issue with the Goblin Giant is it is too hard to counter sometimes. Even like the Inferno Dragon struggles against it. It's like an anti-air tank. Minions and Goblin Curse were just collateral damage. A better nerf in my opinion would be to make the spear goblins on its back not attack air. And the Goblin Giant is the only giant that isn't at a slow speed, so it synergizes with Rage ridiculously well. Rage speeds up the spear goblins and the giant itself. You're basically playing one extra elixir for a faster giant with air targeting goblins. It is too strong, and they just love hitting those side nerfs instead of addressing the real problem head on. This philosophy is everywhere in games. They side nerf all the stuff around the problem, and when they finally nerf the problem, everything else is already weak. They kill the problem and now all the other stuff are dead too. And then they don't go back and they fix all the collateral damage. Shout out my boy Pump. It's kinda like having a wife and a side chick, and every time your wife messes up, you take it out on the side chick. Like, come on, if your wife does something wrong, take her credit card away. Don't let her drive the car. Don't punish the side chick. She didn't do nothing wrong. And if you want to support the side chick, I'm in the channel. Use code BS in the shop. What balance devs keep doing every time is the wife messes up, they punish the side chick. They nerf minions, they nerf Goblin Curse, they nerf Giant when it's like actually Prince. Like, bruh, the end result is the wife keeps wilding out with no accountability and the side chick is traumatized, aka the whole relationship, the meta, gets toxic. There are so many weapon combinations that deserve a new legend before Scythe does, and yet here we are, another Scythe. Why? That's the question, and honestly we all know the answer. Every time the devs want to experiment with something, they do it with Scythe. It's their crutch. Well, to me personally, Scythe is like my side chick. Now don't get me wrong, Scythe is my crutch too. It's my crutch and my side chick, but never has been and never will be anything more than that. But Axe, Axe, that's my baby right there. Supercell and Clash Royale aren't the only games that do this. At least they admitted it. Other games don't. Take Brawlhalla and Chakram for example. Chakram was released with Priya and it was massively overtuned. They nerfed the Scythe move instead of nerfing the main broken tool recovery. All these side nerfs, the weapon was still overperforming, and now when they finally do nerf recovery, the weapon just dies. No one plays it. Then now they're trying to buff every other thing except recovery, and the weapon's still dead, you know. Then now they released their newest legend, Ransom, and he doesn't even get a chance to perform because he's released with a bad weapon. Then now they're trying to basically put a band-aid over it and release it with Scythe. Scythe, everybody's favorite weapon, guaranteed to get played at this point. New skin type, give it to a Scythe legend. Game's not doing too well, drop a flashy Scythe skin. Player engagement is down, buff Scythe. No weapon has stayed this underplayed for this long after release, you know. Chakram has the lowest pick rate, the lowest win rate, and the legends that are using it are constantly underperforming. So what do? Of course, they pull out the crutch. It's like they think we're not paying attention, like they think we don't see the pattern, but we do. We know exactly what's going on. They treat us like idiots with their crutch, you know. Speaking of crutches, you know, you can always lean on my creator code, the code BS. Get it? Lean on it. Sometimes they do the opposite, where it's like they side buff. Like take Jiro in Brawlhalla for example. His sword kit was always underwhelming because his signatures were too slow. Instead of speeding them up, aka reducing the risk of them, they increase the force and increase the reward. Now Jiro be hitting like terrors. Technically the signatures are really good right now because the risk matches the reward, which is technically the end goal. But it doesn't fit his design anymore. Jiro is supposed to be a fast character, yet his sword sigs are slow and hit like a truck. He still has the main issue which he had back in the day, where it feels like when you do a signature, you feel locked in it forever, which shouldn't happen on a fast character like Jiro. You kill diversity because now you've nerfed a bunch of random cards that could have been found somewhere else. You overcorrect when the main culprit finally gets touched. Everything around it is already weaker, so the archetype just dies instead of staying viable but balanced, you know. And lastly, you waste time. You basically take time taking a long detour when you could have fixed the problem in 1 or 2 direct nerfs. Nerf the core first. If after that the synergies are still overperforming, then you touch them. That is the way it should go. You know, I get it, you know. I get why devs sometimes do it. They just don't want to ruin the fantasy, you know, the star card or the star weapon way too quickly. Especially when it's something new. But that's just cowardice. Sometimes the fantasy is the problem and dragging it out just hurts the rest of the game. Because that's how you end up with a meta full of broken nonsense, side chick trauma, devs chasing their own tail, etc. Hurting the rest of the game just because you don't want to ruin the fantasy is honestly just BS. Anyways, that is it. That is all I gotta say. This has been another video where we drag the broken, the busted, and the beautiful disasters of gaming, you know? Like, sub, and drop your favorite example of game balance BS in the comments. Until next time, my brethren, peace. 2 more videos to go, let's get it.